Okay, please share with us. Good evening once more and welcome to day 3. My name is still Ogobweli, your inspirational writer, inspirational author, speaker, and coach. So this is the day 3 of our goal setting, legacy mastermind, goal setting masterclasses. And day 1 was basically the general introduction, to this program. This is a 1-year program beginning from December to November of the next year. So December 2023 to November of 2024. But December, we, open it up to everyone because it's the goal setting month in preparation for the next year. Mr. Kingsley, please, can you keep muted? Thank you. In preparation for the next year. So we don't want to jump into the year and start planning. We want to plan before we get into the year. So we open it up for every member of our Faith Things community to join us to set their personal goals, just to create a plan for the year ahead. And we also open it up for other people to join, this free 14 days to be able to gain clarity. But the goal of it all is not just to gain clarity, set goals and gain clarity and set goals, but to be able to stay through with the goals, implement to get the result, the desired result. And that is why we have the Legacy Mastermind. It's an accountability platform where we hold each other accountable to follow through the goals that you've set. Yes, you have set the goals. And one of the main reasons why people don't achieve their goals, their set goals, is lack of accountability. So that's why we created this platform for people with like minds to come together, inspire each other, motivate each other, leverage on each other, collaborate with each other to achieve their own personal or professional goals. So as we move on, we're going to be sharing more the link, yes, for people to sign up. We want to sign up to secure your spots because the mastermind group is not like a group thing. So you can just sign up between now and the 14th, I think, to sign up for 2024. So I can see a lot of comments from yesterday. Good. So let me just read a few of them. The first one says, Jessica said, I must own my space and not compete with anyone. That is so amazing. There is no room for comparison or competition. Christopher said, singles should take their time to know where they are going before joining others in relationship to avoid conflict of interest. That is so true. Thank you, Christopher, for bringing that vital point out. Jessica said, I am an important piece of the jigsaw puzzle in God's big picture. Yes, we all are. Thank you so much for pointing out. So please, if you were here yesterday, please go ahead and share your major takeaway points on the chat. And at some point, we'll pause to take them. Thank you so much. So we are going to begin. So, okay, please, this is a very important information. So if you don't want to show on the video while watching the replay, you can just cut off, you can just, turn off your video, turn off your videos so that only the speaker will be spotlighted, yes. So that while you're watching the replay, you will not be seeing, different people's names here and there. You only see the speaker spotlighted. So you can just go ahead and turn off your videos. Thank you so much. And also keep muted. So we'll run into today's class. We'll start with a case study. I don't know how many of you were able to read the case study that we dropped in the group, because it's more like a practical session. And what we have shared with you is the worksheet. We don't have enough space to describe, some of these things that we are sharing, some of these concepts. And even now and here that we're on this call, we don't have all that time to talk about all of it. So yes. Oh, you read it. Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for reading it. So I'm just going to read it through so that the people that were not able to read it will be able to have an idea of what it's about. And this case study is really, it encompasses what personal values and defining our personal value is about. So I'll just read from my screen, my second screen. So this is a case study on personal values. And after which we are going to share some questions and answers. So this is the background of the story. Sarah is a marketing professional. She found herself at a crossroad in her career. She had been working for a large corporation for several years, but she increasingly felt that the company's values and practices did not align with her own. Feeling unfulfilled and ethically compromised, Sarah decided to examine her personal values and take a bold step towards aligning her career with those values. Exactly. That's the background. Sorry, I'm gonna call. Go on. So here is a challenge. Sarah deeply believed in honesty, transparency, and social responsibility. Now you can hear her values. She believed in honesty, transparency, and social responsibility. However, her current job requires her to promote products she doesn't believe in and engage in marketing tactics that she found manipulative. This dissonance took a toll on her well-being and sense of integrity. She realized that she needed to make a change, but was uncertain about how to proceed without jeopardizing her financial stability. So now she has this job that is paying the bills, but the values of the organization is very conflicting with her personal values. They've outlined her values and then the values of the organization. They make her do things that don't align with her personal values. So, action. After much reflection, Sarah made the courageous decision to leave her job and seek opportunities that resonate with her values. Despite the uncertainty, she felt a sense of liberation and empowerment as she took control of her career path. She sought out companies with strong ethical standards and a focus on making a positive impact on society. After a period of networking, self-reflection, and perseverance, she landed a role with a socially responsible startup that aligned with her values. Now, here is the result of that decision. Embracing her personal values led Sarah to a fulfilling career that brought her a sense of purpose and alignment. She found joy in promoting products and services that she believed in that made a positive difference in people's lives. This, in turn, boosted her self-confidence and job satisfaction. By living her values, Sarah not only improved her own well-being, but also became an inspiration to her colleagues, demonstrating that it is possible to prioritize principles over convenience and find success on one's own terms. So I know this is like Sarah's story, but I don't know if you've ever found yourself in a situation where you are made to do something that you don't just want to do this. You don't just feel comfortable. Like you go ahead and do that thing, but you feel like something is just so wrong. Sorry. Okay, so let's continue, please. So I don't know if you found yourself, I think we've all found ourselves in those situations where we just know that this is not right. But maybe because you want, oh, your friends, we are going somewhere, and you just get there, I'm not supposed to be here. This is not right. I'm not supposed to do this. This is not right. But you end up doing it. And then you feel bad at the end of the day. What happened to you? You found yourself in a position where your values, were being conflicted. And the reason why we find ourselves in those positions always, if you still find yourself in such positions, is because our values are not clearly defined. Everybody has values. We all have values. We all do have values, good or bad. We all have values. But when the values are not clarified, we find ourselves violating those values. For instance, if respect is a value to you, a personal value to you, when you find, when you meet people that are disrespectful, you just know, no, I don't like the way this person is to others. You just know, you just sense something. But the reason why you remain friends with that person is your values are not defined. Respect is not a defined value, because once that respect becomes defined, when you find people that are disrespectful, you just know, I cannot be friends with this person. It's not because they are a bad person or anything, but our energies don't match. We don't flow. We can't just be friends. We can't just be together, around each other with these behaviors around. You just know, and you know to remove yourself from there. And this is exactly what Sarah did. I bet initially she didn't really know why she was feeling somehow about the whole job thing until she sat down and took an inventory. There was a reflection. What are my values? By the time she was able to identify her values, she just discovered that what we are doing here is not in line with my values. That's why I feel like I'm not fulfilled. I feel like I'm not productive. So let's just answer a few questions. This is question and answer is here. And I will encourage you to read it again if you like. So the first question is, what were the specific personal values that Sarah identified? Can somebody help to type on the comment section? If you follow through with the story, what were the specific personal values that Sarah identified as being important to her? If there is any suggestion, go ahead and type, please. Integrity, good. Yes, integrity is one of them. Any more? Honesty, transparency, amazing. Thank you all. Transparency, honesty. Okay, that's great. And now, how did they conflict with the practices of her previous employee? Responsibility. How did they conflict with the practices of our previous employee? Can somebody, attempt? How did they conflict? Okay, so I'll just wait a minute. Very good. Manipulative. She felt a disconnect and dissonance. Yes, she did. Because of the marketing practices, she felt it was manipulative. And this was, against her personal values. That was why she had that disconnect and dissonance. Amazing. Great. She was required to promote products she didn't believe in and to engage in marketing tactics that she found manipulative. Okay, so let's take an honest poll. How many people have found themselves in such situations? Just, type on the chat, just say I. Have you ever found yourself in such situations? Like they want you to do something that is just against your personal values. And because, okay, I work here, or because I live here, or because this person is my friend, I will have to do it against my personal values. Oh, see, great. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I see. I found myself about 3 to 4 months ago. I had to brace up to the boss. Okay. Amazing. Please, Harry Peter, would you like to share maybe in a minute or two? Would you like to share with us?
All
If
right, good evening. Thank you, Coach Ego. Sorry, Ogo, right?
oh,
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Now I actually, get to do some research work, and one of that was that we're told to um somehow speak to the patient. Okay, actually in two ways. Actually, let me talk about the other one. I was doing that out of the locality where we were supposed to take the samples from the patient, and then having gotten the required samples and all that, and then where I was going to write as the locality should be where that locality was, which is outside the local government where we're supposed to cover. And then, so when I asked him, he said that I should just put the one where we are at. I was like, no, that is not completely true. I don't feel comfortable, So I had to call him and say, sir, this is not what the specification says. We're supposed to do it in where we're at. So I don't feel comfortable. And I told him, I said, I'm not just doing it because of the money. I'm doing everything with integrity such that whether or not you are there with me, I know that there's an eye that is seeing everything I do, and I do my work with integrity. He respected that and said, okay, I should actually put where I got the samples from. And I think that was because at the point I told him, I said, sir, it's either I put where I took the samples from or I drop from the job. And I think I was able to
wow.
scale.
Wow. Amazing. That was a very classical example. And you were able to pull through because you already had your value of integrity clearly defined. Imagine someone that doesn't have that value defined. Yes, they will feel in that thing, because maybe they don't want to upset the boss. And then they will go home feeling so bad, so bad. So thank you so much for sharing that experience with us. Thank you so much. So let's continue. Um, so let's look at a few more questions. So what were the initial challenges that Sarah faced when she realized the misalignment between her personal values and her professional responsibilities? What were the initial challenges? Can anybody attempt? Or her challenges was how to cope with the financial. Okay, yes, that was one. That was one. So what else? How did she feel? How did the job make her feel? So, okay, let me just go ahead. So she felt, oh yes, she was unfulfilled. I don't know if anybody has felt that feeling of unfulfillment, like you just have to drag yourself out of bed every day to go and do this job that you just feel like they're just taking from me, taking, like, oh my gosh, she felt unfulfilled and she felt a sense of being ethically compromised. Ethically compromised, like this is completely against all that I believe in. She felt that way. And yes, thank you so much for Luke for sharing that, Samuel. And then she took a bold step. What steps did Sarah take to address the dissonance between her personal values and her career? And what were the key factors that influenced her decision-making process? So to make it shorter, so let me just answer. So to address the dissonance between her personal career and her values, Sarah took the courageous step of leaving her job and sought out companies with strong ethical standards and a focus on making a positive impact on society. So you see, here is talking about the same thing that we talked about yesterday. Because she was able to identify and clarify her personal values, she could now go ahead to look for companies that, have those things as their values so that she'll be able to work together. We're talking about professional, career. This can also be applicable to relationships or whatever it is that you're doing. Even the service that you're providing. Your service cannot be violating your personal values. Like you're selling something that you don't, but because you want to make money, you're selling fake products, but somehow you know that this is wrong. In fact, for you to even continue in that business, something is wrong with your values. So, but, what I'm trying to say is that this can be applicable in different, occasions. So now she went ahead to find a company. So this value thing will also influence the places that you get to work. It's not just in your relationship or your career choice, the places that you want to work. And companies that focus on making a positive impact on society. Her decision-making process was influenced by a desire for alignment between her principles and her professional life. She just knew there needed to be that alignment. You know what happened? I remember when we were young, my dad had this 504, and occasionally he would take it to a company and say, we want to go and do alignment. I didn't even understand what alignment meant, but I knew that they use that word all the time to be able to align. Thank you, Harry. Your service cannot be violating your personal values. That is it. So she was able to find that thing, as well as a determination to prioritize her integrity and compromise. It was a personal will for her to live out her values. That was why she made that bold decision. I'm not saying everybody should go and leave their jobs, though, but you have to start making plans for something that will give you that fulfillment if you are currently in that place. The question you ask yourself is, how long will I be here? How long? So if you can be able to answer that question, then you know whether you want to stay or to start making plans. So finally, let's take the last question before we get into the worksheet. How did Sarah's decision to prioritize her values over convenience and financial stability impact her overall well-being and sense of fulfillment? So I put the answers here so that you don't stress yourself. Sarah's decision to prioritize her values over convenience and financial stability led to an initial period of uncertainty, but ultimately resulted in a sense of liberation and empowerment. It positively impacted her overall well-being and brought her a deep sense of fulfillment and purpose in her career. So she definitely made that decision for herself. She didn't do it for anybody. She had to make that decision for herself. So we have a few more questions here. You can just go over, and read it through. But the takeaway here is that Sarah's story exemplifies the transformative power. It exemplifies the transformative power of aligning one's action with personal values. By staying true to her principles of integrity and compassion, she not only improved her own life, but also contributed positively to the work environment around her. So this case study highlights the importance of self-reflection, courage, and perseverance in living a value-driven life. And it serves as an inspiration to others to prioritize their values in their personal and professional life. I've heard a lot of people, especially Christian people, say, please, this is work. We are being professional here. We are not in church. So they are one way in church and they are another way at the workplace. That is conflicting values. If your values are love and respect. You are loving and respectful both in church and in the workplace. If your value is integrity and compassion, you're compassionate both at church and both at the workplace. If your values are excellence and teamwork, you are the same. There is no, this is church and this is work. So it's so important that we align our values with our personal and our professional pursuits. So let's go into the exercises. I hope you have your workbook. I believe I made a mistake and we uploaded a wrong exercise. So we posted the PDF file. On the group. So can you still hear me? Just type in the chat, please. Okay, thank you. Oh, someone said it's frozen. Yes. Okay, thank you. So your personal values are the things that are most important to you in life. They are the principles and beliefs that guide your behavior and choices. Personal values help you to make decisions, prioritize your time, and live in a way that is true to yourself. They can be different for each person and can change over time as you grow and have new experiences. Personal values are unique to each individual and may evolve or change over time. So it's important to regularly reflect on and reassess your values to ensure they align with your authentic self and guide your actions and choices. So if you go to the back, to the appendix, we have a list of personal values. I don't know who have seen it or gone through it. We have A to Z personal values. For people that have no idea what personal values, examples, you have like a full bouquet of values, A to Z. Amazing. From authenticity, ambition, down to zeal. So it's like A to Z. You need to really go back because you can't go through it. It's a whole 3 pages and more, 3.5 pages or 4 pages. So go through those values and the explanation, the brief explanation to give you a sense of what your values are. Like I said, we all have values, but sometimes we lack the words to define them. So we provided this list so that as you go through them, you'll be able to identify, yes, I really, really like this, but I didn't know that this is what you call it. So it will help you to be able to identify the values, that the things that mean so much to you, so that we can be able to fill out the worksheet. So the instructions we have here, the first one is reflect on the list of personal values provided in Appendix 1. Then from the values, choose 5 values that resonate with you the most. Then write them down in the selected space provided. So there is this space provided. I don't know if you can see it. So there is a selected space provided. Write down the values, 5 of them, write the description, write why it's important to you, and then one action that you can take with this value. Is this clear? Just go over the appendix. If you didn't have it printed out, just go to the WhatsApp platform, you see it there. Go over the list of values. Select 5. If you don't have any, you can just go ahead and write your values if you already have them defined. Then put a description. What is this thing? Write why it's important to you, and then put one action step that you can take towards this value. So let's do this in the next 10 minutes. Then we'll come back and we'll get into the belief system. 10 minutes, please. Okay, we have a few more minutes. Let's take 3 more minutes. Some people are not writing. I can see you, Chioma and Chidima. Okay, I have something here. You said you didn't get me very well. So what I said is that the worksheet provided at the end, the appendix 1, you see a list of values, A to Z. You see a lot of values with a brief description. Go through that list if you don't already have your own values. So it will just give you an idea of different values and what they stand for. So go through that list and pick out 5 that resonates with what you personally believe in. Write it in the slot provided in the value sheet. If you don't have this, you have it printed out. You can write it in your notebook. So write each value, write the description, write why it's important to you, and then an action that you take towards it. For instance, respect is the value. What is the description of respect? Treating people, with love and consideration. If that's the description that you want to give it. Why is it important to you? It's important because it is important to you because that is your way of making people feel valued. That is the way that you show people that they are valuable, by treating them with love and consideration. So that is why it's important to you. Then the action will now be maybe like an act of how can you show respect to someone? Respect is not age, it's not limited to age. So you can decide, okay, I'm going to do something nice or treat this person in a better way, maybe this gate man, or show my children more respect by not talking down on them because they are small. They're actually humans. Actually treat them like humans. So that could be an action. So that is just an example. I don't know if it makes any sense. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's continue because of time. Just remember that this activity is meant to be a reflective exercise to deepen your understanding of your values and how they can guide you in making decisions, life decisions. It's just, you see the way Sarah made that, came to that place of reflection, and afterwards she just knew there has to be change. I need to prioritize my personal fulfillment and well-being, because being in a place where your values are constantly violated will take a lot out of you. You're not going to be happy. You're going to be unfulfilled. You'll just not be producing optimally. You will not be bringing your best self to work. You will not be serving as you should. And it's going to affect your overall well-being. So it's important that we do this. And like I said, these values, if they are defined, it will also help. I don't know, I keep talking about relationship because I know that we are relational beings. So if you're here, you're either single or you're married or something. If you don't understand your values and you get into a relationship with someone that have conflicting values, that is formula for disaster. It's not temperament that breaks marriage. It's not temperament. Even the writer, Tim LaHaye, said it, opposite attract. So that's why you can see a sanguine and a melancholy, a sanguine or a choleric. They are together, they are okay. Opposite attract. But opposing values repel. What causes problem in relationships is opposing values, not opposing temperament. Because when people say, oh, opposite attract, they say, oh, this person is different from me. And you cannot attract if your values, you have value for respect. Let me use an example. You have value for education, self-improvement, love and respect. And then you get married to someone that, yes, it's a good thing that you have an education. He's not an illiterate or she's not an illiterate, but that person values like you to be more of a homemaker. You want to be a high flyer, you want to get to the top of the peak of your profession or your career. This person wants you to be a homemaker because that is maybe the example that they have growing up. The mother was the homemaker, all the aunties around were homemakers. So that is the blueprint that person is running with. That is what they know, because values are shaped based on your upbringing, your culture, and everything. Can you see that you already have a problem in your hands? Even the love will just fade away. By the time you get in, you just finished your first degree, I want to do a master's, and the person is like, what? We're going to start having children. You're going to take care of these children. You already have conflicting values. And how are you going to be able to be happy in that relationship? So it's important that we define these things before we go into those lifelong relationships. Okay, so if you're not done with this, please, you have to go ahead and do it on your own because we have just 10 minutes to run through the belief system. What is a belief system? A belief system is a set of beliefs. A set of beliefs or principles that a person holds to be true. Like this thing is, you believe this thing is true. You believe it's true. It's like a collection of ideas that guide how someone sees the world and makes decisions. For example, a person's belief system might include the idea that honesty is important or that hard work leads to success. These beliefs can come from many sources, such as your family, your culture, your religion, or your personal experiences. So someone that believes that hard work leads to success, hard work leads to success, like hustle, struggle leads to success. If you're talking to that person about smart work, intellectual work, the person will not understand you. They will think that you don't know what you're doing. It has to be hard. You have to go out there, you have to dirty your hands and put it in the mud. This is their belief system. And they feel like every other person that is not doing this is wrong. So that's an example of a belief system. Now, there are limiting beliefs and there are empowering beliefs. Like, oh, power out. 1 second. Alas, we are still in Nigeria. I hope people of abroad will understand. Okay, so there are limiting beliefs and there are empowering beliefs. Limiting beliefs are ideas or thoughts that hold you back or prevent you from reaching your full potential. They are beliefs that create self-doubt and limit what you think is possible for yourself. For instance, if someone believes that they are not smart enough to succeed in school, that's a limiting belief. Another example could be someone thinking they are not good enough to pursue their dream or career. These beliefs can stop you from taking risks or trying new things because they believe that they will fail. Have you seen people that say, yes, so there is always a long queue, but once it gets to my turn like this, it'll just close. And the thing about beliefs is that once you believe it, you will start manifesting what you believe. So you'll stay on the long queue, it's going. Everybody is buying fuel. Everybody is buying gas. Everybody is collecting money from the ATM. But once it gets to your turn like this, piam, it is finished. You can actually manifest your beliefs. And that manifestation will make you, think that, oh, this is really true. It just happened. Not knowing that you produced that outcome because you believed it. So you're not succeeding. You feel like you have low self-esteem. You feel like, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. This thing is not for me. It's not for my kind of people. As long as you have that limiting belief, it will hold you back from making the necessary steps that you need to get to where you're supposed to be in life. So now there is the opposing side. There is the empowering belief. On the other hand, empowering beliefs are thoughts or ideas that support and motivate you to achieve your goals. They are beliefs that make you feel capable and confident. An empowering belief could be the idea that hard work pays off, or that mistakes are opportunities to learn and grow. For example, someone who believes that they can learn from their failures and keep improving has an empowering belief that can help them overcome challenges. So in summary, your belief system is a collection of ideas that guide your thinking and behavior. Limiting beliefs hold you back, while empowering beliefs support and motivate you to reach your potential. So I'm going to give you like 2 examples before we get to the exercise, because this one is really simple. I have this ideal weight. I said ideal. This is the weight that I want to always remain. And for many years, I've maintained that ideal weight. And all of a sudden, I kind of exceeded that weight just by a few kilograms. And I've been trying to get down to that particular weight, and it's been so difficult. And I'm wondering, why is this difficult to lose this tiny 5 kgs, not even 100, 5. And it's been a struggle until I had a coaching call with a senior colleague, and we discovered that I somehow took on a limiting belief. And what was that limiting belief? That once you turn 40 or you begin to turn 40, it becomes difficult to lose weight. And I've observed my friends that turned 40, the way they all blew up and they're not losing weight. And all of a sudden, somehow, I believed it. That was why it was so difficult for me to lose that weight. Because I feel, okay, now I'm 40. The hormones, the hormonal changes and everything, even though I'm not 40 yet, I'm still going to be 40 in a few days. The hormonal changes and everything. So I was attacking this weight loss from a place of fear. That was why it wasn't working for me. Immediately, that limiting belief was identified and changed to, I can be whatever size or weight I want to be at whatever age that I am, or whatever. It changed. And all of a sudden, all the hard exercises I was doing hard exercises, but I was gaining weight. All the hard exercises, I stopped it. I just let my body, I said, this body, you're going to naturally shed this weight. And guess what? The weight is going off on its own. All the things that I used to crave, I stopped craving them. So I don't even eat them anymore. And look at how your belief system can influence your outcome. I don't know if this example, made any sense to anybody. The second one is, because of the work that we do with children with our PDAC Foundation, we had an opportunity to make a presentation at a conference of private school owners of Nigeria. Okay, amazing. Amazing. Thank you. So see, you have an empowering belief on that. That's why it's working for you. So now my belief has changed. I have an empowering belief and it's going. So I had this, we had the opportunity to make a presentation to the school owners. There were so many, like all the A-list schools together. And I was meant to speak to them for 10 minutes. And I don't know, I speak. But for some reason, I was feeling like low confidence, or I was feeling inferior. That was the word. I was feeling, oh, who am I? These are accomplished professionals. They have created schools. They are established, and I'll be speaking to them. Who am I to speak to them? Imposter syndrome. And again, see why everybody needs a coach. I was on another coaching call. I shared this challenge with the coaching call, and we were able to turn that limiting belief. And how did we do it? She made me identify the amazing things that we have done, all the good works that we've done. In less than 2 years, how many children we've impacted, how many resources we've created, how we are actually attempting to change a generation with this message of personal development. By the time that call was over, I was like, bring it on. Who are they? I have a right to be on this table. I should be on this table. I'm even doing more than most of these people that are doing. Like, my belief completely changed. You can even hear the way my tone even changed, like saying it right now. I was so empowered. And on that day, I delivered a powerful speech, and everybody was clapping and applauding to that amazing, inspiring speech. So you can change your limiting beliefs to an empowering belief, and that will guide you to, create or achieve that success that you desire. But if you leave it that way, it will limit you and you won't be able to do it. I would have just gone there, and with that mindset, I would have just messed up myself. And I will go back and feel very bad and ashamed. So let's go on to the exercises. I hope this is blessing somebody. So we have, our time is up, but this is so simple. You can do it on your own. And I will advise that you just do this before you go to bed. So how do you change a limiting belief? So first of all, identify that limiting belief. I gave you 2 examples. The first one, you struggle to lose weight once you turn 40. The second one, oh, how can I compare with these accomplished people that are here? Those are the limiting beliefs. Now, you identify the limiting beliefs. Now, think about an area of your life where you feel held back or limited. So that's the exercise. Identify the limiting beliefs and write it down. That's the first one. The second step is challenge those limiting beliefs. How did I challenge the first one? The first one is that all these years I've maintained this certain weight. I've maintained it. I've not struggled with my weight. I've done it several times. So I can do it again. So you write down the evidence that contradicts the limiting beliefs. For instance, if your limiting belief is, I'm not good enough to pursue my dream or career, you might list your achievements, your skills, your positive feedbacks that you've received from other people. And then you know that I've done this, I can do this. Like when we started listing out the number of children we've reached, the resources we've created, the clubs we've created, the things that we've done just in a small period of time, I knew that that limiting belief had to go. And then the third one is create an empowering belief. Now you've identified the limiting belief. You have established that you've done this before, something similar before. Now create an empowering belief. Write the limiting belief in a more empowering way. For example, I have the skills and determination to pursue my dream career, and I can learn and grow along the way. So you say it. Somebody said something here. Let me just help you clear that limiting belief. Yeah. Oh, he said, I graduated. Someone said, I graduated with a 3rd class. That is my main limiting belief. So let me even tell you that I graduated with a 3rd class. So you are not the only one that graduated with 3rd class. But what is the difference? I identify the fact that my God-given skills and talents is much more superior to the academic qualification or grade given to me by a school. So I can actually do things with the things that God has given me. So placing yourself, qualifying yourself with what a school gave you is like a limiting belief, because we are so much more. School is actually man-made. It's not bad, it's wonderful, but school is man-made. It doesn't negate the gifts and the talent that God has given us. And that is what God wants us to use to be a blessing to ourselves and our world. So just know that you have your gift. Identify your God-given skills and gifts and potential is within us, that purpose, and begin to work with it. And know that God's gift is without repentance, and we can do amazing things with it. So, and there are so many people that graduated. I have a relative that graduated with a pass, but he's one of the wealthiest people in my community. So there are people that have not even gone to school. Imagine people that did not even go to school. Imagine someone that like Mr. Cosmos Madoka, that is a multi-billionaire in dollars. And the highest level of education that he got, he said, was grade 4, primary 4. That was the highest level of education. And he's actually Dr. Cosmos, because universities have given him honorary doctorate degrees because he dared to utilize the gift that he had to create the wealth. So school and results should not, limit you. So on this note, we will have to call it a night. If you go to Appendix 2, Appendix 1 is values, A to Z. Appendix 2 is limiting beliefs. And then Appendix 3, empowering beliefs. So when you go there, you'll be able to identify one or two things. You can see whatever it is that is limiting you. And then you use the same method to overcome them. For instance, let me just read a few of the limiting beliefs. Some people say that money is the root of all evil. That's why they are struggling in their finances, because they don't believe that money is good. Money is not the root of all evil. Even the Bible says that money is a defense. There are good things you can do with money. There are great things. I can't change. Some people think I can't change. They are fixed-minded. They need to just embrace a growth mindset. So this belief suggests that personal growth and change are not possible. It can discourage individuals from seeking personal development, learning new skills, or new positive changes. Like someone mentioned yesterday, that is age a barrier? So some people actually think that my age is a barrier. Am I not too old for this? Age is not a barrier for anything. So, oh, my son just said it. Age is just a number. So another limiting belief is success is only for lucky people. So I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun reading this. Just go to Appendix 2. You find a list of limiting beliefs. And then if there is anyone that you've been thinking about, you just see it there. And then you come to the Appendix 3 and you see the list of empowering beliefs. Example, I am in control of my own destiny. This belief emphasizes personal agency and responsibility, empowering individuals to take proactive steps towards creating the life that they desire. Another empowering belief, I am constantly growing and evolving. Another one, I am worthy of love and respect. There are some people in abusive relationships and they cannot leave. Why? They think that their life is all about this person. When you get to a point to know that you are worthy of love and respect, you'll be empowered to leave a negative and toxic relationship. I embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. I am surrounded by abundance and opportunities. Some people think that there is scarcity in this world. There is so much abundance. Just look around you. Look around you. Even nature will tell you that there is so much abundance. Sand, abundance of sand. Water, abundance of water. Air, abundance of air. Animals, abundance. Insects. I don't know if anybody saw some of these flying around here. Abundance of it. Trees, birds, lizards, cockroach. There is abundance. So why do you have that scarcity mindset? Okay. So if you embrace that abundance, you'll be able to attract more opportunities that will expand your finances, expand your skill, expand your business. Just know that there is room, so much room for you and for every other person. Some people think that is either I have this or I don't. That's why I don't like all these things that people post on social media. Oh, pick one: husband, car, money, job. When I see such posts, I'll just pass. God is not a lottery God. God wants you to have all of it. All of it. There's abundance for all of it for everyone. God does not want to give you a job and you will not have husband. He'll give you a car and you will not have a good house or something. God wants you to have all of it. So when you embrace that mindset of abundance, you begin to attract more opportunities. Like I said, our belief system also influences what happens to us. If you believe that people don't like me, you will just be messing up, behaving in ways that people will just detest you. And you say, oh, it's because I said it. It's not because you said it. It's because you believed it. That's why you're acting it. And that's why people are responding to you. Life does not happen to you. Somebody should write that. Life does not happen to you. Life responds to you. Life is responding to you. It is what you give to life that life will give back to you. Just like harvest cannot just come, you have to plant a seed. What you give to life is what life will give back to you. So take out some time and go over these beliefs. Identify your limiting beliefs. It's so important that you do this so that it will help you in this coming year. And you'll be able to smash every goal that you've set for yourself. Identify those limiting beliefs, write them down, think on paper, and then change them, challenge them. First of all, challenge them. Prove to yourself that you've done things. And, that shows that this is not true. Because limiting beliefs are actually lies. And then go to the empowering beliefs and adopt as many as you can. Turn them into affirmations and begin to say it to yourself every day. So anytime you feel like, oh, those limiting beliefs are creeping in, you go back and do these exercises again and get back to where you're supposed to be. On this note, we have come to the end. I'm in a call, my darling. On this note, we've come to the end of today's session. Can I take a question or two before we go? I'm so sorry we have overshot by 10 minutes. Just put your hand up, just one or two, if there is anybody that wants to make a contribution or ask a question. Okay, so I'll take Harry and then one more person. Is there any other person? Okay, Harry, please, can you unmute and ask your question?
Once again, I can't but appreciate you, Coach Ogo. Thank you so much. Thank you and thank you. This is what the world. Just to buttress what you've said, I think life is all about battle. Yeah, and the belief system, form single day, and probably may have to fight that several times in a day. Because, like you said, those limiting beliefs want to come in to push you back to where you were. But by the grace of God and with God's word and determination, it will necessitate fighting this over and over and over and over again. And Paul the Apostle said we should fight the good fight of faith. So thank you so much. I think several things I've taken home today is that one of which is that life does not happen to you, but it responds to you, and that is formed at the very point of affirmating beliefs, which we have to keep, reassuring ourselves again. Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
You are on mute. You're on mute.
Unbelievable. So I've been on mute since I've been talking. Oh my goodness. So on this note, we've come to the end. So what I was saying is that if you have been blessed and you feel like the information is transformative, invite someone. It's free. And because we made it free doesn't mean that it did not cost us. It did not cost us a lot of money and resources and time to get this knowledge and practice it to be able to bring it to you. But we want to help a lot of people, especially Christian people that do not have that time to really sit down and think and plan so that we can be able to create a plan for this coming year. Someone said that if you've been doing something, same thing over and over without results, that's the definition of insanity. Something has to change. If you've been setting goals and they've not been coming to pass, you've been declaring and praying and fasting and nothing has happened, it's time to change. And the thing is that we really need to change before things will change. We need to learn some things, do things differently to get a different outcome. So invite someone to come in here and set the course for their new year. From tomorrow, tomorrow we'll have the life wheel. If you have not purchased this workbook, I beg you, go ahead. It's a little investment. This is a little investment to make. Get it, print it out, bind it, and have it. Just doing this alone will give you a sense of intentionality. Just doing it alone will give you a sense of intentionality. And you're going to follow through. So tomorrow we are going to talk about the wheel of life. And that is the introduction to the goal setting, because we're going to talk about the different areas of our lives. And then we begin the goal setting for all those areas. Thank you once again. Okay, Mrs. Maureen wants to speak. Please go ahead, and then we can go on.
Yeah, Ogo, thank you very much for, we like call it training or whatever, but I just want to encourage the youth. You know, I'm 70 plus and I've been following you since 2018. Right now, despite the fact that I'm retired, I still take courses online, that will enhance my skills. So I will encourage the youth, retool, empty yourself, learn, read. Nigerians don't like to read. Africans don't even like to read. Don't hang on social media. Your phone is an asset. You can use it to train yourself. There are free courses you can take. There are a lot of things. See, Ogo has been doing this coaching. I joined her 2 years ago, last year and this year, and I encouraged my daughter to join too. You know, there's a lot of sense in what she's saying. So please, please, please don't just take it lightly. Put it into action and see your life transformed. Thank you very much, Ogo and Pastor Ije.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you. This is the best closing statement. So on this note, we'll call it a night and we'll see again tomorrow. Have an amazing night. Please share on the WhatsApp group, whatever it is that stood out for you, to encourage people that have not been joining to join. Thank you and good night. We're going to drop the link for tomorrow's worksheet. Go ahead and download, or better still, buy the workbook and have it once. It's only 2,000 naira only. It's not a lot of money to invest in your personal development. Good night, everybody. Bye.